Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about how to make one thumbnail unforgettable. And I want you to think about the fact that one of the things you hear me say quite often is that you should go ahead and test it. Whatever the question is, I tell you to test it and see what the analytics say. And that is true. But there are some things that you can do before you even run something to see if it might be valuable or not. And that is one of the things we're talking about today with thumbnails. So how can you figure out the truth before you have to test it and run it through the analytics? So I want you to think about a magician for just a moment. Okay. So a magician, they are very good at drawing your eye to a very specific thing that they want you to pay attention to. This is one of the ways that they prevent you from seeing how they do their magic, right? And so thumbnails are kind of similar in a way. We want to take control of what grabs their attention. And one of the things you can do to see if this is working well for you is to use what I call the blink test. And this is actually from another YouTube strategist, which right now I've just forgotten which one. But so I'm borrowing this term from somebody else, but lots of people use it in the industry. So blink test. So what does this mean? Well, I want you to think about that magician. They are going to set up their tricks. They're going to kind of get you looking at something, get you to pay attention to a specific thing. Then they're going to reveal the magic, right? And then you're going to have a reaction to that. And that's exactly the same thing that happens with a thumbnail. So with a thumbnail, you're going to practice the blink test. So you're going to make your thumbnails. And I recommend having 3 thumbnails for every video so that you can put them into the tester in YouTube, because you can actually put 3 thumbnails on a video and YouTube will test them for you. And you'll start to notice maybe certain colors do better, or certain fonts, or certain images. And that can help you start to have better and better thumbnails over time. And so that is something you can test. But having 3 thumbnails is a really good way to start that test. That's not what we're talking about today. Sorry, sidetrack. If you're catching me live, go ahead and give me a hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. But so we are going to do the same thing as the magician. We want to have a setup, we want to have a reveal, and then we want to cause a reaction in our audience. And so the thumbnail for this video, I'm going to go ahead and share it again. So it was on the screen a moment ago, but I'm going to share it again. So this is the thumbnail for this video. Now I'm running a thumbnail test. So there's actually 3 thumbnails. So this may not be the one that you see on the video because I'm doing a thumbnail test, but this is one of the thumbnails that I created for this video. And for me, what I'm usually drawn to is something that is bright. The eyes in this particular image are really attention grabbing. The bright blue is very attention grabbing. This is one of the reasons that I use it because it stands out from other thumbnails. But also the word best is really large. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I don't want you to do anything yet. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. You're going to close your eyes, and then you are going to open them really fast, and you're going to look at this thumbnail, and you're going to say, what was the first thing I saw? And that's the setup. We're setting it up to figure out what it is that you see first. And then we're going to, sorry, the setup is to close your eyes and open them. And then the reveal is what you see first. So what you see first is like when someone does the magic, right? And then I want to know what you feel about that. Are you curious about it? Are you bored? Are you like, oh, I need to know what the best thumbnail is? What is your reaction? Because that's our goal, is to try and get someone to pay attention. And if your thumbnail either is so busy that their eye doesn't go to any specific thing, or if the reaction is like bland or blah, then you have not met the goal. And so it's important that you try this for yourself. So the thumbnail is actually on this screen. So I'm going to turn this away for just a minute. So if I close my eyes and then I'm going to open them really quick, what am I drawn to first? So for me, I'm actually drawn to the word best. Now, part of that is probably because we read left to right, and that is the brightest thing on that side of the screen. So I'm immediately drawn to the word best. That's what I'm looking at, which of course makes a lot of sense for what we're talking about today. Which thing were you drawn to? Drop it in the chat or in the comments. I'd love to know. And so that is your setup, closing your eyes and opening them really fast. Your first focus, what's the reveal? And then finally, what is your reaction? When I think about the best of anything, my reaction is, yeah, I want to be the best, right? It almost doesn't even matter what the thing is. Unless, of course, it's something I really don't want. But as a YouTube strategist, I do want to know the best. And Patricia says she also saw best first, and she said she was curious to know best what. And that is actually a really good place to be, because it's important that the person that clicks on this wants to know about thumbnails, because that's what we're talking about. But in reality, the most important thing is to draw the eye. and get them to have a question in their mind. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter what you're talking about because they're never going to click. And so, what is one way to make sure that your thumbnail can do well is by making sure there is something that you want them to pay attention to that their eye is drawn to first. So one of the ways that I accomplish this is I keep my thumbnails very minimal. There are creators who have pretty busy thumbnails, but they'll make sure something is brighter in the picture, or they'll have one word that is a different color, kind of like how I did in this example. So you don't have to have simple thumbnails like I do, but you do need to make sure that when you close your eyes and you open them, that your eyes are drawn to the thing that you want their eyes to be drawn to. So that's the goal here. So I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Elise Michelle. I'm a YouTube strategist. I also help people with systems. Basically, I help business owners stop having to deal with the business side of things and instead lean into the things that they absolutely love. That's what my goal is to help you be able to do the business stuff faster so you have more time for the things that you love. And today we're talking about thumbnails. So basically your takeaway for today, make sure that your eye or their eye, you can even ask someone else to look at it, is drawn to what you want them to be paying attention to. And that when it's drawn to that thing, it causes curiosity or some other big emotion that's going to get them to click. Call to action. What do you need to do with this? Well, first of all, when you're thinking about making a video, make a thumbnail and double check and use the blink test. It takes half a second and you can immediately know whether or not this thumbnail is likely to do well for you. If you have a video that's not performing as well as you want, go back and perform the blink test on the thumbnail. If it's bad, change it out, okay? But implement using the blink test this week on your next video or a video that you've already created. That's your call to action for today. Just a reminder about what we're doing here in November. So number one, we are doing a training every single day. Currently, we're talking about thumbnails. It is 15 minutes or less. And in addition to that, every single day you have an opportunity to enter my giveaway drawing. So speaking of which, go click the link in the description or in the chat and enter the giveaway for today. And yes, it looks the same as the one yesterday, but it is a new entry. Every single time you come here and you click that giveaway link, you get entered in the drawing again. The more times you get entered, the more likely you are to win. What are you going to win? A whole year of the Video Biz cohort, which means that you get to come every single week and ask your questions. Every month we have a new training, plus you get access to all of my courses that I've ever released. And you get to do our monthly challenge to make sure that you are actually moving ahead in your business every single month, not to mention the accountability of the other business owners that are in there and having to kind of tell me every week where it is you're at and what you want to work on next. So all of those things, you can win it for an entire year when you enter the giveaway by clicking the link and getting entered. That I think is everything that I wanted to cover today. Guys, I am so glad that we get to, oh, actually I should pay attention if anyone said any comments. Again, if you're catching a live, give me a hashtag live. Catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I am so glad that we get to live our dreams together every single day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.